My name is Amanda Esco, and I am lucky enough to be the Director of Religious Education here at the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City. Thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. Let's start off by lighting a chalice. Today's chalice lighting intention is understanding, and our action is stillness. Let's take a deep breath in together. If you have your chalice at home, light yours with me. We light our chalice for understanding in the spirit of stillness. We gather together in community to learn, to grow, and to serve. Well, my friends, I am so glad that you are here and made the time to be with us for Reimagining Chapel. Again, one thing that we like to do, as we do in Little Chapel in person, is take a few moments of breath work. So we're going to use our 5-finger meditation. Now, if you haven't done this with us before, you're in for a treat. Because do you know what you always have with us? Your hand. You always have your hand with you. So I want you to take your hand and I want you to hold it right out in front of your face. And this is how this meditation works. So as I move my finger up, I'm going to trace my hand. As I move my finger up, I'm going to take a deep breath in, hold it for a second, and then breathe it out. I'm going to go up and down my hands, doing just that. Do you want to do it with me? Great. Now this is one that you can do sitting, you can do standing, you can do laying down, however works for you. I came in my house the other day and I saw that I had a friend who had their legs up the wall and they were sitting like this, meditating. Let's do it together. Okay, hold your hands straight out. We're going to take our deep breath in. I also sometimes like to close my eyes. Let's trace our hands up. Now, did that take very much time? Not at all. But how do you feel in your soul now that we did take that time? Do you feel a little bit more centered? Do you feel like you're ready to listen? I know when I take a few deep breaths and center myself before an activity, that's how I feel. So I hope you feel the same way. Again, you always have your hand with you. You can practice this meditation at home. Well, another thing that we like to do is share our joys and concerns. If you have something on your heart, share it with the people that love you the most. I'll be right here waiting for you when you're done. Thank you for sharing your joys and concerns with the people that love you so. I know I say that every week, and it never stops being true. We love you here at the First Unitarian Church, but also the people that are in your lives every day. Love you dearly. Well, on this Women's History Month, I get to continue sharing women from our Unitarian Universalist history that I find fascinating, that I want you to know more about. So, listen to this history, and I hope you learn a little bit. Augusta Jane Chapin was a Universalist minister and educator. A leader in the Universalist ministry, she dedicated her life to the work of advancing women in society. Born on July 16, 1863 in Lakeville, New York, her family soon moved out west. They finally settled in Lansing, Michigan. Augusta loved school. By the age of 14, she was actually teaching school in a neighborhood county. At 16, she tried to enroll at the University of Michigan, but was denied because she was a woman. Because of that, she started studying at Olivet College. When Augusta was young, it was expected for children to just memorize Bible passages. without thinking about the content or context of the passages at all. In college, Augusta learned that there was a whole field of study devoted to studying religious text. She disliked the idea of eternal damnation and was called to Universalism. By the age of 17, Augusta knew what she was supposed to do in the world. Quote, "I have no recollection of ever considering the question of whether I would preach or not. I never deliberately chose the profession of ministry. From the moment I believed in Universalism, it was a matter of course that I would preach it. I never questioned as to how I came by this purpose, nor did it ever seem in the least strange that I should preach it, nor had I any real conception of how my course must appear to my friends and the world until I had been more than 10 years in active work." After Olivet College, Augusta attended Michigan Female College. At the same moment, she worked as a school principal in Michigan for more than 2 years. In 1895, Augusta preached her very first sermon in Portland, Michigan. She ended up preaching there for 3 years instead of 1, as was the tradition before applying for fellowship. Throughout her ministry, Augusta would have to work twice as hard to prove her worth as a minister as her male colleagues. Finally, in 1862, she was granted fellowship, and by 1864, she was ordained into the Universalist ministry. Augusta traveled often, working in over 17 different congregations by 1905, including starting new congregations in Iowa. As part of the Iowa Sisterhood of Female Ministers, Augusta worked to bring life, not just academics, into churches. In 1871, she became the director of the Iowa Convention of Universalists and took a seat on the Council of General Convention of Universalists. She proposed new rules that were non-gender specific for fellowship and discipline in the ministry, and they passed. In 1873, she helped found the Women's Center Association, a national organization of religious women of any denomination. Being a female minister was hard enough. They didn't feel the need to separate themselves by denomination. Augusta chaired the Women's Committee of the World Parliament of Religions in 1893 at the Chicago's World Fair and was the only woman to preside over sessions at that parliament. Augusta worked for women's suffrage and was a charter member of the American Woman Suffrage Association. She was also on the revising committee for Elizabeth Cady Stanton's pioneering work, The Woman's Bible, published in 1895. Augusta never married, dedicating her life to her work and study. In the summer of 1905, while studying for a summer literary tour she was giving in Europe, Augusta suddenly died of pneumonia. On June 30th, 1905, Augusta Chapin's life work for women's equality in education and ministry was groundbreaking and serves as an example for women leaders today.
Hello and welcome to the Wonder Box. My name is Lissa Lander and I'm the Religious Education Assistant at the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City. We are continuing our series on our principles, which you can see behind me on the wall, many of them. We remember that a principal in this case is not a person in charge of a school. That's spelled with a P-A-L. I mean principles with a P-L-E, which are ideas or beliefs that help Unitarian Universalists tell the world who we are and what we are here to do together. We learned last week about number 1. We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of all people. Today, we are going to learn about the second principle, which is be kind in all you do. I believe that so many of our challenges could be changed or at least made better with kindness, so I especially love the second principle. Let's see what is in our Wonder Box today to help us learn about kindness. It's a book called I Am Love. I can't wait to see what it's about. I Am Love, a book of compassion by Susan Verde, art by Peter H. Reynolds. When I see someone going through a storm of hurt and unfairness, of anger and sadness, when the sun disappears and the skies grow dark, and I see there is fear, I ask myself, what can I do to help let the light back in? I put my hands on my heart and listen, and that is where I find the answer. I have compassion. I act with tenderness. I am love. I can listen and not say a word. I can be there. Love is being present. I can hug and hold and say, everything will be all right. Love is comfort. I can speak softly and choose my words and actions carefully. Love is gentle. I can give thanks for all I have and am able to share. Love is gratitude. I can keep my mind and body safe and healthy. Love is taking care of me. I can express what's important to me. Love is creative. I can know that no one is perfect. Love is understanding. I can do my best to make things better when something is wrong. Love is effort. I can celebrate those I've loved before. Love is remembering. I can find goodness in a kind word, a helping hand, or a shared smile. Love is tiny gestures. I can breathe in the air that the whole world shares and know all creatures are made from the very same stardust. Love is connection. When the clouds roll in for others and for me, I know now there is something I can do. I can let my heart lead the way. I am love. You are love. We are love. And with love, we will weather the storm and light up the sky together. So this story taught us about compassion for ourselves and for other people. It had so many actual suggestions for how to show love and kindness, and I thought the pictures were beautiful too. Tell us how you can be kind in your life and what you thought of the story. And please join us again next time on Reimagining Chapel. To learn more about the First Unitarian Church of Salt Lake City and our work in the world, go to slcuu.org. Until next time, heart.
One, each person is important. To be kind